Shepherds, spare me one last chance to let you share. It seems I can't avoid your hands to give forth cashmere. 'Cause I've got a work to lose, so cut this bug down to size and repay his dues. That I could pull the wool over your eyes, that I could fleece the peace, that I could say stubborn and milk it, but I can see the lead, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his head, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his head today. If he will hear his voice, hear his voice today. If he will hear his voice, hear his voice. That I could pull the wool over your eyes, that I could fleece the peace, that I could stay stubborn and milk it, but I can see the lead.
Welcome to the Missouri Freedom Initiative. It is, of course, Saturday night. It is 7:30 p.m. It is the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. I want you guys to look at the debt levels. Look at that. $34,709 billion. You know when inflation's really bad? You guys, I heard a great story. I thought I'd share it with you. Inflation is so bad right now that life insurance for a Boeing whistleblower has gone up 10,000% in the last 48 hours. Yeah, that's right. So if you're working at Boeing, you may want to try and shop around a little bit if you're going to be a whistleblower for your life insurance needs. We did have a comment here from Thomas, and I'll get back to that in a little bit on the Rumble side. But that is the debt. I want to say that the opening music was Slave to Servant. You can find their album where all fine albums are sold, including Amazon. Let's get to the gang here, and let's see what's going on. We'll unmute, and there we go. All right, of course, you guys see I have Daniel with me today with Citizens for Sound Money. We have Gretchen Garrity from Right to Win Ozarks blog. We have Liberty Revolutionary, also known as Caleb. We have with us also Voodoo Queen. We have with us Sam Britton now. He is actually on Gilded, which is pretty cool. And also Tom Martz with the Locke and Smith Foundation. So thank you all for joining. You guys on the platforms, just give us a 5x5 or your favorite gun caliber. That'll work as well. We'll take that. Let us know if you can hear us. We did have some audio problems last week, and we're hoping we've got them fixed. We're hoping. No promises. We do the best we can with what we have. And it looks like I think we are live on Twitter now. We are indeed live on Twitter now. So hello to everyone in Twitter land, YouTube land. Let's see. And let's see. And then Truth Faction. Hey, says shalom all. Shalom right back to you, buddy. Let's see. Original Intent is with us. We're getting a 5x5 from Original Intent. So that means the audio is working on YouTube. Good to hear. Okay, gang. I'll tell you what. Triple T Tony's with us with a 7.62 by 39. That is a wonderful caliber. Thank you very much. Yeah, Caleb, I know you've probably got an opinion, but I'm favorable to the 7.62 by 39.
It is a good caliber.
It is a good caliber.
It's a good caliber. And ballistically, it's comparable to a 30-30 Winchester.
Hey, there you go. And Jill King from Fairfax, Virginia. Thank you for chiming in, Jill King. And let's see, we've got Morkster. We've got CL Moody with us, Thomas J38. And as it turns out, yeah, there is a little thing there on the Rumble side. If you click on subscribe, apparently it's $5. I have no idea. I must have set that up when I set up the channel. So you don't have to click subscribe. There's nothing with subscription. Just follow us on Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, or on Odysee. Preferably on Twitter and Rumble. Those are our two mainstay channels at this point in time. But those of you who got the email, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know Silver and Gold is still alive. 735 is alive. So it's in the house now. And I'm just going to get right into it before we go into general discussion. When I talked about the email, it's now time to switch our attention from the Senate to the House of Representatives in the state of Missouri. So this is a time for you to call your representative, even though you may have called your representative before. It's time to call them again and remind them that 735 is coming their way, but also to ask them to go to Dean Plocker and ask him to move this forward as quickly as possible. You guys, we had a lot of speed bumps this year. You guys remember in the Senate when Bill Eigel's committee was taken away, his bill basically went on the back burner for a little while. In the House, Michael O'Donnell decided to hold on to HB 1955 for 11 weeks in his committee, and that slowed it up in the committee. That's actually death. That's not just slow walking. That's nearly death right there. But you guys, we're going right into Bill Hardwick's committee. So that's what's happening in the House, and that's emerging issues. So we can get through that committee pretty quick. He has special dispensation already for a special time and a special date. So therefore, we are not going to testify. We're not sure that that's necessary. We don't think it's necessary, but the witness forms are. So on the email, I did actually have information on the witness forms, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the comment section of all of the socials right now so we can get that out to everybody. If you did not get the email, or if you do not get the emails, I highly recommend you do. I think that would be a really, really good thing. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me figure this out. So please do get the emails, because that's how we get timely information out to you as quickly as possible. Why is that happening? Sorry, guys, I'm going into, thought I was going into Outlook.
Fun trying to manage multiple screens.
Yeah, actually, it's like it's signed out. I think I got to sign in or something.
There it is.
There we go. Okay. All right. Let's get that witness form to every single social. Copy. And here we go. First one in Twitter. Paste. It's in the actual chat on Twitter. I guess I should probably put it in the actual comment section right underneath there. Paste. And once again on Twitter, everyone has got this now. So let's get some of those witness forms out. These are very important, gang. Very, very important to get these witness forms done. This is what we need to do, as opposed to going to the Capitol and testifying. We need to actually get these witness forms done. Okay, it's in YouTube now. It's in Rumble, and now bringing it to Odysee. Paste. Okay, these are the witness forms, gang. These are relatively easy to fill out. In fact, they're so easy, I'm thinking I'm going to actually show you how to do it right now. So let's see. I will put it up on my screen here. I will switch to share screen. entire screen, and it would be screen 2, share, okay. And here we go. Here's the witness form. So I'm assuming everyone's seeing it online right now. I think you are. This is what the witness form looks like. This is the link that you have on all the socials right now. It's actually really, really easy to do, but you go ahead and follow along. If you click on the link, it's real easy to do, gang. Let's do it together and get it out of the way. So you would, when you bring up the form here, you see it says emerging issues already. You want to click on SB 735 IGL. So click on it like that, and as an individual and in support of, and then as far as a statement goes, that's personal preference here, but I'm going to go ahead and say this legislation let's see, and I'll put in parentheses SB 735 is important for many reasons in the state of Missouri. Firstly, giving Missourians a choice. Choice, is that the right way of putting it? A choice, an option. Rather than using the coming central bank digital currency. Also, it will help the state weather the never-ending inflation storm. So something as simple as that. That's all it takes, gang. Just write something like that. You can go into much more detail if you want. And then, of course, just fill out the rest here. You know, your full name, phone number. Actually, I'm not even sure that phone number is necessary, but I know your name and your email is. Here's the thing, gang. When you fill this out and you click on the box down here and hit submit, it's going to send you an email. You have to click on the link in the email that it sends you in order for your witness form to be submitted. So watch your email box after you're done with this, and then click on that link that comes in your email to confirm your email address. Very, very important. So, and I will move it over here and away from the screen, and put me back on, there we go, camera. And I'm going to finish out my form right now, and I'm actually going to make a phone call. I'm actually going to call my rep like I'm asking everyone to do so you guys can hear it in real time. And let me get the email in there. Okay, and I think I got it all done. I only want to submit testimony because I'm not going in person as much as I want to. It's not a good idea. Once again, special dispensation, gang. Special time. Special date was allowed by the House Speaker, and so at any rate, going in to testify would not be a good idea because they need to be done with this hearing in 20 minutes. Okay, let me finish up this 6CD.
That's the name.
Oh. That's down here then. Okay, and then hit verify, verified, and submit. Okay, I've got my witness verification sent in, and now I will check my email. And that's actually, I'm sorry, gang, I'm doing this in real time right in front of you, but that's what I was hoping, that we would get some people to fill these out tonight in case they forget later on. There we go. I got verification. I'm My email has been verified, and now my witness form is public. So you guys can go up and look at those publicly now. But I ask everyone to fill one out and have your family members and your loved ones and your friends and your extended family and your roommate from college all fill out a witness form as well. So that would be really cool if we could get a bunch of witness forms out there. This is, once again, for SB 735. This is the Silver and Gold Bill, also known as the Constitutional Money Act. Very important, gang, that we get some witness forms in there and we start calling reps. Now, before we start general discussion, do you guys want me to call Titus right now, or do you guys think we could do that later on in the program? What say you? Do it now? Okay. All right. Let's get, hang on. We got to bring up his phone number. You guys know how to do that, don't you? We go to house.mo.gov, and we'll do that right here. And let's pick on my rep, and that is Bob Titus. Members. Okay, and let's see. We scroll down till we get to Titus. Bob Titus, there he is. And there's his number. And you guys, seriously, for calling up your reps, we need to get that done, and start working on that, even if you have done it before. Because I've talked to Bob multiple times on the phone and in person and everything. He knows how I feel about the Silver and Gold Bill, but I'm going to go ahead and make that call just so you guys can have an example of a phone call. And we will plug that in. And let's see, go to keypad 751
3833.
3833. Okay, calling Bob Titus. No, it's not coming through.
It's going through phone. You need to click on.
Oh.
There it is. It's on.
There we go.
You have reached the office of Representative Bob Titus for the 139th District. We are sorry we missed your call. Please leave a detailed message and we will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you. You may start your message now.
Hey there, Bob. This is Pat Holland. Was kind of hoping you'd be in your office today, but I forgot about the Republican convention in Springfield. Hey, while I got you got your voicemail, I was curious if you could help me out with something real quick here. You know how much I love SB 735, the Silver and Gold Bill, also known as the Constitutional Money Act. Bob, I've got a favor I need to ask from you. This is actually really important. If you could go talk to Dean Plocker and ask him to get that moving as quickly as possible, and so we can get that through committee and through rules and onto the calendar, I would really appreciate it. I think that this is an extremely important bill for Missouri for reasons we've talked about: inflation, the coming CDBC, but inflation, that's the big one right now, Bob. I think you probably know a lot of people in your district that are hurting. Silver and gold, if there was general knowledge of silver and gold and businesses started working with it, people will as well. And that can actually help us weather the inflation storm in the state of Missouri. That's all I have for you for right now, Bob. But I want to say thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Please don't forget to go talk to Representative Plocker. Thank you very much. Have a good day. God bless you. Okay, that's an example phone call to a rep. That's simple, gang. So, let's all call our reps and let's all have them talk to Dean Plocker. And we're going to be nice about this. There's no reason not to be at this point. If we're in the last week, maybe we won't be so nice. But we have 2 weeks left, guys. So we're in committee on Monday. And that's at 2 p.m. on Monday. So I just want you guys to know that's how quickly we're in committee. But there won't be an executive session on Monday. That we don't have information on yet. When will they be voting on this is basically the next thing. So that's something that that Bill Hardwick can work out with Dean Plocker. So that's the importance of these phone calls and these witness forms. So I really, really appreciate it. Let's see, Lunatic Fringe, that's Tom Martz, by the way. Actually tell people to write something in the comments as to why they support, in their own words. It has more appeal that way. That's absolutely correct, Tom. You are absolutely correct on that. This is why it's always important, gang, that we always tell them why we want this bill to go through. Not because we like our bright and shiny coins. That's not a good enough reason to do legislation. It's because of, the threat of a CDBC, inflation, the fact that businesses will be coming to Missouri, free market enterprise businesses with solutions for gold and silver. And that's another reason. And that's exactly what we want, free market solutions for gold and silver. Gold backs. I mean, who doesn't like those? And, UPMA and debit cards. Who doesn't like that? But honest to God, we're just scratching the surface when we're talking about these. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at with silver and gold. 835 is still moving as well. And there's a plan to amend that. So, and once again, that's all happening internally. It doesn't need any of our assistance, I don't think, at this point. If we do need to do something about it, please get on the email list and check your email, because it'll probably go out Monday or Tuesday if something needs to be done with 835. And with that, I think I'll go ahead and open it up. We'll talk about IP tonight as well, concurrent majority reform is actually the way we like to look at it. We don't want to call it IP reform because the signature gathering process is not being touched by these bills. So therefore, we're going to call it concurrent majority reform, because all it's really going to affect is the vote, not the signature count. So we have SJR 74 that has moved, I believe that's moved from the Senate, and that is now in the House. We would like to see that repaired, because there's one problem with it. And I'm not talking about concurrent majority between congressional and House districts. I'm talking about the way the vote is counted if the General Assembly passes a joint resolution versus the people doing a petition, basically to get something on the ballot. Here's the way it works right now. The way SJR 74 is currently set up is if Daniel here wants to do a really cool initiative, basically, and get signatures for it saying, that gold backs are now the official currency of the state of Missouri. That's a good idea, by the way. Mm-hmm. So if he wants to do that, he can. He gets the signatures necessary, and then it goes on the ballot, and then it goes up to a vote. But for Daniel, under SJR 74, if it passes, he has to clear 5 out of 8 congressional districts with over 50% of the vote, right? Now, if the General Assembly wants to do the same bill, which is still a good idea, even if they do it, the thing is they only need 50% plus 1 vote. That's all the General Assembly needs. So Daniel has to clear more votes than the General Assembly does if they do a joint resolution on a ballot. So that's kind of our hang up with it. I mean, it has the appearance of impropriety, in my opinion. It certainly seems like they get to get something on the ballot and into the Constitution easier than Daniel would if Daniel did the same thing. So that's what we're trying to repair. And once that's repaired, actually, we're good to go. I think we've got this whole IP thing beat. So anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, I'd throw in there too that, and if they're mimicking this for the General Assembly the same way that that it's set up now for everybody, then it's not just 50% plus 1; it's 50% plus 1 of the number of voters in the previous general election.
No, that's for signature collection.
No, when you're doing these for the 50% plus 1, mm-hmm. as it stands right now, mm-hmm. it's 50% plus 1 of the number in the previous general election. I've looked at it like 4 times in the Missouri Constitution. It would only take about a quarter of the population to change the Missouri Constitution. Right?
Wow. Okay. Well, that was my misunderstanding then. I thought it was 50% of the vote plus 1 of the total voters.
The way they calculate that vote is not by the voters of this general election. It is by the previous general election.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't have illegal aliens voting in our next election then in November.
It's actually, hang on a second. I will grab it. I will tell you what section it's in.
Okay. And in the meantime, Tom, do you want to weigh in on this as well? If Tom is listening, by the way.
There we go. But hang on a second. Oh, never mind. I did read that wrong. Okay. Yeah, I looked at the wrong section. That is collection of signatures. Okay, I'm a moron.
Yep. Oh, that's all right, buddy. That's all right. So we do
I'm
have
tired. I've been out mowing all day.
Yeah, that's okay, man. Don't worry about it. But it's important for people to remember that's the distinction right now. That's what, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people have hang-ups on this. And once again, the appearance of impropriety, it's really this simple. If the General Assembly has an easier time changing the Constitution than we, the people, do, it doesn't seem right or fair. It seems like the government has the upper hand on changing the Constitution over the people. And that's the problem. And once again, not everyone, maybe not everyone has that problem. They'll say, well, candidates are vetted, before they, go up and, up to Jeff. Well, in the Republican Party, they sure aren't. But I'm sure they're well vetted by the Democrat Party because they seem to be in lockstep over there. So that's just a guess. But at any rate,
we've seen what happens when they fall out of lockstep.
Yeah, we do. So that's the point of IP reform, gang, is literally just to make sure that it's not a 50% plus one person to make a major change to the, to the Constitution of the state of Missouri. And I've had this argument with someone recently who said it should be easy to change the Constitution. As someone who actually said that, it should be very easy for the people to be able to change the Constitution. I said, well, that's a problem when it comes to out-of-state money and out-of-state interests coming into the state of Missouri. The easier it is, the more likely it is we'll become Illinois. It's really that simple. And if it's a good idea, the people will vote for it. So, there's that issue as well. I mean, you can clear that 5/8 hurdle, if you will. And by the way it works with congressional districts is it would have to be 50% plus one person in 5 congressional districts out of 8. We have 8 in Missouri, so we'd have to have 5 of them with that. And that's the way concurrent majority works to make a change to the Constitution.
So you guys are suggesting to make it more difficult for the legislature to change the Constitution, right?
As well as the people. Correct.
As well as the people?
Yep.
And what are you trying to do with the people?
Well, and there's 2 different processes. That's a good question.
Mind you, I'm only here for gold and silver, so I'm learning this.
Yep, gotcha. So here's the way it works. With the General Assembly, they get to do something different called a joint resolution. So that's a bill that they bring forward in the General Assembly, and then it gets voted on. And then if it passes both houses,
50% plus one?
Yep, that's correct. 50% plus one in the Senate, 50% plus one in the House. Then they can put it on the ballot.
Okay.
And then the people voting on it will be 50% plus one for the entire state.
Of the whole state, not 5 out of 8?
Nope, that's for you and me. So, but for you and me, there's a process of signature gathering. That's what Caleb was talking about earlier. So it's a percentage of the amount of people that voted in the last presidential election?
It's general election, so it's not going to be the half cycle.
Okay, gotcha. So let's call it the presidential
I don't know
election.
How I fixed that up today.
So however many Missourians came out to vote, so you have to get a percentage of those amount of voters. You have to collect signatures, and you have to get them from each congressional district. On top of which, too. So you can't just sit at a mall in Springfield and collect 200,000 and expect to get it on the ballot. You have to collect it from different areas throughout the state.
Same thing in Florida.
Yep. But when it comes to voting on this resolution, if it's you and me, this is SJR 74. This is not the way it is right now. But if that bill passes, then your bill must get 50% plus one in 5 out of 8 congressional districts. So you see the disparity here between the General Assembly's vote and the people,
Right.
and the vote they must have to. And it could be the same exact bill. It doesn't even matter. They may want goldbacks as the official currency. You want goldbacks, but you would have a more difficult time getting that through than they would.
Because I have to get. Okay.
Yep.
Keep in mind too, this is they were when it came to what was it, 2022? They crammed the marijuana legalization in our Constitution. They didn't do that through a signature thing.
Yep.
That was everybody who actually looked through that and understood that it was, it wasn't actually legalization. It's a pseudo legalization placed under in addition to the medical portion that is already crammed in our Constitution. And that was
Yep.
crammed in by a bunch of lawyers in the General Assembly.
Right.
Which in turn, that made it, if this bill passed prior to that, and this had, it wouldn't change anything in exactly that bill coming out of the General Assembly being put in our Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
We still would have been stuck with the same garbage.
Yep.
If they really wanted to do it right, it could have been a one-liner.
Yep.
But
And Grant puts in a good point here. The abortion cult got their signatures. And they, right now, the way this is set up, it's literally just 50% plus one in the last for signatures. But from this election cycle in November to get literally abortion up to 9 months, this is very important for everyone to understand the way the language is written, up to 9 months. So we're talking about, partial birth abortion here, gang. They've got all the signatures they need now to put this on the ballot. So
and here's the other thing too. Even if you're one of the people out there that doesn't necessarily agree with, completely banning it, there's another problem with that bill or that that petition. The language is written in such a way that it could apply to reproductive health care, which in turn, if they try to define child transition as reproductive health care, guess what else happens?
what's that?
It basically gets rid of what we did a couple of years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
In other words, child mutilation would be in our Constitution as well.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, actually, the way that is, I'm not sure what language would be on the ballot as of yet. I've not looked into this. But guys, back when I was looking at this, there were 17 ballot initiatives for abortion. 17.
My understanding is the one that made it is the one that just marks reproductive health care as being a guaranteed right.
Yep. And Grant says, well, it overturns SB 49 as well. I'm not sure about that, Grant. Hopefully that's not the case.
What I was saying.
Okay. Well, guys, this is what we get. Basically when we have loose rules like this, the Democrats are not in power in the General Assembly. This is the only way they can get things done. Out-of-state money for signature gathering, and then literally hardcore pressing this in the cities. Now, I understand Missouri Right to Life is putting out a campaign pretty quick here to inform people what actually they'll be saying yes to on the ballot. So there is that as well.
Okay, so what what is it? The Freedom Caucus, what they're fighting for is to make it more difficult for the legislature and...
Well, they're just fighting for IP reform in general. The Freedom Caucus was okay with passing the law with the General Assembly having a lower threshold to get this done on the ballot than the people. The Freedom Caucus was actually okay with that. But they're okay with it the other way around, too. I mean, they don't really care either way. Now, the real problem is Democrats, rhinos, and corporatists. Those are the ones that don't want that language to go into SJR 74.
Because it makes it more difficult for them.
Well, it makes it the same level of difficulty as it would be for us. They're better people than you and I, Daniel. They're better people than us. They deserve an easier time. Well, they had to get elected and spend time talking to people and, and trying to get elected and trying to get votes. So they're just better people in general. So I think
So is it now going to be a 5/8 vote for them to get it through in the legislature?
no. Nope. They're not changing that. It's not about how to get it through the legislature. It's about how the people would vote on it to get it through.
I see.
So, and that's what really matters. And by the way, I'm kidding. They're not better than us.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I was going to say, the rate you were going, Patrick, I was going to have to look for a stomach distress bag.
well, I wouldn't have blamed you. I was laying it on pretty thick.
Yes.
Yeah. The reality is, it doesn't matter how easy something is to get it on the ballot. You know, if you could make it really hard or really easy to put something on the ballot. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, you know, how do you preserve, you know, not having the cities and out-of-state money run everything by running some campaign that gets all the cities to vote in favor of.
I guess the convention is proposing 2 resolutions, Patrick. One is demanding that the Senate pass SJR 74 and another to pass HB 1481.
Okay, what's HB 1481, Gretchen? I'm going to have to look that up.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know, but they did pass a couple other really good things. They actually passed election integrity and getting rid of all machines, including the tabulators, the paper ballots and hand counting.
Nice.
Accountable for all those that go on the Republican ballot, meaning you must be a Republican and prove it with your votes, and constitutional sheriffs passed.
Wow.
They've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm looking up 1481, gang. Let's find out what that is.
What about the someone wasn't gold and silver supposed to be something, you know, or basically sound money practices supposed to be an amendment to the
That's
GOP?
the platform, the entire platform. And gold and silver would be a part of that. Gretchen, has there been any word on whether or not they voted on a platform yet?
Let's see. Let me check.
And was it HB 1481 or SB 1481?
HB.
Thank you. Okay, Christ is the sponsor on that. And let's take a look at a executive summary. No. That's the wrong thing. Yeah, let me bring it over to you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay. Brad Christ and introduced. Okay. In all cities of this state, not within a county, common council or municipal assembly, such as cities, may pass ordinances preserving order, securing property and persons from violence, danger, or destruction, protecting public and private property, promoting the interests. What does this do exactly?
So just breaking news.
Okay.
Dan Stacy and Ben Baker, they called for a quorum and the numbers weren't there. Ben Baker did a big thumbs up and he and Dan Stacy were fist bumping and hugging. I saw what they were doing and started calling out to them. You sent your people home so we wouldn't have a quorum. Neither of those Republican legislators would look at me. So all that stuff I said about election integrity and constitutional sheriffs is gone, thanks to these 2 that will both run for Missouri Senate.
Ben Baker.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What?
I asked, I know. I asked about silver and gold. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
How many shy of a quorum are they?
I don't know. I'm somebody's writing right now, so I'll see.
That's just pathetic.
Isn't it? Absolutely.
That basically throws the entire thing out the window.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
That's dirty tricks.
Well, we got some rhinos and some corporatists running amok up there, it sounds like.
Ben Baker just surprised me this year. He got bought out.
Well,
hard.
It's possible. I mean, what's weird, I know Ben, and he was saying that I was foolishly falling for the Democrat talking points on SB 727 on Twitter. And he should know better than that. That was really strange. But then again, apparently I'm taking an enormous amount of Democrat dark money along with their talking points, apparently.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So Ben Baker did not say that, though. That was Krista Finelli who said that about the grassroots publicly. Privately, it's been going on for, that rumor's been going around since September of last year. Because the grassroots.
Sack of crap.
Yeah. It is what it is, gang. I mean, can we expect any better from some of these politicians? I mean, really? I
think you can just refer to them as political parasites.
Yeah. Well, we could call them political parasites, or, we can visit them, which is my preference. I will be visiting with some of these folks in the very near future. Let them know what the grassroots think about being, accused of taking Democrat $800,000 or whatever of Democrat dark money.
Number sounds familiar.
Yeah, never mind. Forget I said that. So, yeah.
That number sounds familiar.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so at any rate, does anyone have any questions about where we're at with silver and gold, either with 835 or 735? Just go ahead and type them in the comments section if you have any questions about it. And I do strongly encourage everyone to call their representative and actually email their rep as well. Follow up with an email. Let's see. Julia is saying, thank you for explaining SB 835. No problem. Let's see. Let's see. Triple T says, I've been out of the loop for a while. What's going on in the race for governor and lieutenant governor? Who's running and who are the rhinos? Well, first of all, as far as lieutenant governor goes, I don't know that we have any good people running. I can tell you that Lincoln Huff is definitely on top of the heap right now because he has the finest hair in the Missouri Senate. I mean, trust me, you will not find someone with better looking hair than Lincoln Huff. And by the way, apparently that is a qualification to be lieutenant governor. So he was kind of a shoo-in to begin with anyway. So at any rate, he is a rhino. He's a Democrat voter. He votes with Democrats quite a bit. Lincoln Huff. He calls himself a Republican, though. And as far as governor goes, I do believe that Senator Bill Eigel might be at the top of the polls right now. So that's something that everyone will have to wait and see. But I have heard a rumor that he might be not only pulling ahead, but actually on top of even Ashcroft right now. So that's my guess. And I wouldn't call.
Ashcroft did damage himself a little bit.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Repeatedly.
Let's see. Grant says the Democrats have leached the Republican leadership. No one should be involved in reproductive anything, says Aburi. Aburi? I'm going to call you Aburi.
Yeah, I think that's just a debate on abortion in there.
Yeah. Let's see. Gary Ride says Senator Bill Eigel is running for governor. He'd be a great governor. I agree. So let's see. Finer Clay. Let's see. Hey, Pika is on here. Learning about politics can be educational and fun. Yeah, going to your capital is even more fun. Actually, I've kind of gotten used to going to the Capitol now. They're long days and everything, but you can sure feel good when you get out of the Capitol and you got some good work done.
Oh, yeah, like we did last time.
Yep. In fact, do you want to talk about, since Monday, we have not had a live stream. Would you like to talk about Monday?
Oh, sure. So on Monday, we drove to the Capitol, and while we were driving there, we were on the impression that we had all 18 votes that we needed to get the SB 735 through. So we got to Senator Eigel's office, and he asked us to just make sure and whip the votes and make sure we still have them. And the first person he mentioned, to make sure to go see Senator May, since Senator May was the only Democrat that voted. So we went in, talked to the staff, her, I guess, chief of staff. We asked if she was going to vote yes again. He said, absolutely, but she's not going to be here today. We're like, what do you mean she's not going to be here today? Well, something happened to her personal matter, and she could not come into the Capitol. So we went from having our 18 votes to only having 17. So we ran back to Senator Eigel, told him the situation, and he gave us a list of names to go whip. So none of the Republicans met with us, but the 2 Democrats that we whipped did. And we were able, literally at the last second, answering all their questions, showing them gold backs, explaining, what gold and silver does, how, electronic transfer works. At the last minute, we were able to convince Senator Mosley to vote yes. She was the 18th vote, and because she was the 18th vote, 3 Republicans that voted no last time or didn't vote at all at the perfection vote voted yes. So we got 21-10. So if it wasn't for us, I don't think that we would have gotten the 18th vote for Mosley. Patrick and I were talking about it, like, yeah, SB 735, because we were whipping I was sweating. We were running around the Capitol trying to talk and whip votes, and I was sweating at the end of it. Got inside, and it was good to see that work paid off. But that's the importance of going to the Capitol and at least whipping votes when you're working with the sponsor of the bill.
Yep, so Monday was a very, very productive day. We helped whip the votes to get it through the Senate. Bill Eigel was whipping votes too, by the way, gang. Yep. I mean, he wasn't sitting idle, trust me.
Oh, yeah, he was working hard.
But, we were all working different sides of the operation, so at any rate, so it was a great team effort, and it shows, just as Daniel said, going to the Capitol and whipping votes is very, 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 very crucial. Especially when it comes to a bill like silver and gold, where there's a lot of people that want to use it as leverage. I see my good friend Dave Plemons on here. Dave Plemons says, in other words, if most signatures came from metro areas, they may not have made it, even with 381,000 signatures. I do believe that's correct, because they have to get it from congressional districts. They have to get a certain percentage based on the last presidential election cycle. And I'm almost positive that's how it works, Dave. And it's good to see you, man. Let's see. Dave Plemons says, although keep in mind that they may not have met the 8% threshold. 8%, that's what it is. Caleb was looking that up a little bit ago. In all 6 congressional districts, they have to get 6 out of 8, and they need 8% of the voters from the last presidential election cycle. There we go. Now we got it all together now.
So the reform increases it to 50% plus 1 in 5 of 8, right?
That's correct. Yep.
And do we have any data on previous initiatives that got that number?
Yes, we do. Actually, that's on Ron Calzone's website, Missouri First.
No, you got that mixed up with you're talking about the actual vote side of it. We were talking about the getting the signature side.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, there we go.
Covering the signatures.
Yeah, that's correct. In fact, Dave Plemons was correct. It's 8% threshold in all 6 congressional districts for signatures. So it's not for a vote. That is for signatures. And then the second.
That's.
Go ahead.
I mean, they have to get 8% in 6 of them?
Yes, I think that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, see, with the way they could go about that, particularly considering the fact that Kansas City and St. Louis is 2 of them. Springfield and Joplin, that's going to be, Springfield's going to be another one. Joplin's going to be another area. And then you have Cape
Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia, that's a different one.
Yep.
Yeah, they could get that pretty easily. For the 8%, but they're not going to get the 50% of the congressional districts for the vote side.
All right, gang. Someone said they looked up Lincoln Huff, and I want to show you guys. This is Lincoln Huff right here. Those for you online can see that, and he does have the best. Go ahead.
Do we have to see it?
Well, I think it's important for people to understand what we're talking about. He's got the best hair in the Senate. I mean, literally hands down. No one can really compete. I'm curious, though, what kind of product he uses in his hair. I mean, I think that, if anyone ends up in a public event where Lincoln Huff is, of course, stumping for lieutenant governor, please raise your hand and ask him what products he uses on his hair.
So Senator Huff, during the vote, they had to call his name twice because he was just standing by the wall, not at his desk.
That's right.
And we think he was holding out to if it was a tie or there was a vote to kill it, we think that he was going to be the vote to kill it. But since they already got 20 votes, he was the 21st. So the pressure was a little too much.
Yep. Okay. And Ben Baker called Lisa Panette and Stacy Shore Westboro Baptist Church girls. He's a traitor, says Gary Ride. You know, Ben Baker, Ben, if you're watching or if you watch this later, I'm going to come see you here in the next 2 weeks. I need to have a chat with you. I mean, I need to understand why you think you can win an election for Senate when you're going after the grassroots like you are. So I don't think that's a good idea, Ben. I really don't. And I don't know what's happened to you, sir. Grant says Springfield is 1 congressional district. St. Louis is 3 districts. KC is 2 districts. You don't even need to come to Columbia or the Boot Heel to get ballot signatures. So it's true. KC is a huge area.
Yep. So is St. Louis.
Yep.
But keep in mind, there's St. Louis, and then you have, so what I'm looking for here. At least 2 of those districts stretch outside of there. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's just easier to get the signatures that way, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I want to say this comment here. Triple T Tony says, my hair is better than his. Triple T, I think it's too late for you to register to run for lieutenant governor now. But I think you ought to consider it, basically 4 years from now. So he who has the best hair wins, apparently. And Grant also says, continuing on with Grant's comment, that's including their metro areas. Gary Ride says Lincoln Huff uses WD-40 on his hair to repel water on those rainy days. That's true because actually when he walks in from the rain, his hair doesn't lose its shape. It's got to be something like WD-40. I think it's a composite. I think there's a lot of chemicals he puts in his hair. I mean, it probably starts with something as simple as, hair gel like mousse or something like that. And then hairspray to get that sheen and that shine going on. And then WD-40 on top of all that, so water rolls off of him like, off a duck's back.
Careful, I put a lot of product in my hair.
Okay, yes, okay.
To your brain.
See how shiny it is?
Yep. Okay, so let's see. War chest. Let's see. Warrior Class 3. Is there even time to get gold and silver bill through before the end of the session?
Yes.
Yes, there is. Now, it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But right now, and, this is really strange for us, too. We're backing off just a tad because there's a lot of internal work going on right now for silver and gold, and that's a fact.
And I met with Speaker Plocker and Representative Patterson's chief of staff. And at least Speaker Plocker looked me in my eyes, same with Ron Jensen, said that they're going to push gold and silver through. So I'm an outside organization. I know you said there's knives in my back, but
I pulled him out when you left the office.
Let's wait and see if he actually keeps his word. Because
Plocker keeping his word.
we can actually put pressure from the outside if he doesn't.
You can.
And we got a TV show, and we can do some things on the TV show on cable television if he breaks his word. So
yep, there we go.
We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, Dean, if you're watching, pay careful attention. We didn't make fun of your hair at all, sir.
No,
not one bit.
We just like you to keep your word.
We just want you to keep your word and get silver and gold across the finish line. That's all we're asking. So Isaac's checking in. Let's see. The party can start because Isaac is here now. That's GETTR Authority. By the way, I want to give a plug for GETTR Authority. I have, and in fact, I got them right over there. I can go get them. Guitar strings from Isaac's company, GETTR Authority. And those are the strings I use on both my acoustic and electric guitars and also my bass guitars. So I just and 12-string guitars.
And I do want to, if he is watching, if you do keep your word, we will interview you, and interview why it went through. So there's a positive as well, not just a negative.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a carrot and a stick here. You keep your word, we'll interview you and then give you some credit for pushing it through. If you don't keep your word, well, there's a stick too.
Yeah, that's important for House Speaker Dean Plocker to know that we do keep our word. We always have. So if Daniel is going to put you on the TV show because you helped to get silver and gold across the finish line, you can take it to the bank. And this is a live stream, and everyone knows who I am. We keep our word. So we're asking you to keep yours.
It's going to be on the Science Channel.
Yep.
Q4 and Q2.
Okay, let me finish my shameless plug here for Guitar Authority. If you are looking for guitar strings, look no further than the MoFree website. Easy access to Guitar Authority and the strings they sell. By the way, we don't make a penny of it. Not a single dime. Not a penny, not a cent, nothing. But Isaac has come on Knock and Shock operations with us, and that is a benefit for anyone who comes with us on Knock and Shock operations. If you have a business, we would like to advertise your business on our website, free of charge. There is absolutely no charge for them to advertise on our site, and we don't make a penny for them clicking on a link from our website to go to theirs. So Isaac is basically taking advantage of that. So he is on our website, and I use his guitar strings personally for, like I said, for all of my guitar string needs, both acoustic and electric. So I just wanted to say that. I want to say another thing, too. If you guys know of anyone that needs any water filtration, I know where you can go for that as well, but we don't have a link on our site as yet, but that will be coming soon. So I just wanted to throw that out here. Warrior Class says, I sent an email to my senator, Justin Brown, asking why he voted against gold and silver bill this time when he supported it last time. He never responded. This was a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Justin Brown didn't respond to that one, huh? That's too bad. Did you give him a call too, Warrior Class? Did you actually give him a ringy-dingy? Give him a call and talk to him in person. And Triple T says, actually in politics, I believe he or she with the most money wins. Well, for the lieutenant governor position, it's the best hair. That's the only prerequisite. I mean, someone with the best hair wins that particular,
Okay.
Go ahead.
But if that's the case, how do you explain Mike Kehoe?
What about Kehoe?
Kehoe?
He has almost no hair.
Yeah, but he has the best almost no hair. I mean, actually, very few people with almost no hair can compete with his almost no hair. It's good stuff. I mean, just take
Is it the polishing of the area that doesn't have it that helps?
I think it's just the products he used, the gentle nature of the scalp massage he does every morning, before putting on product. I mean, there's a lot that goes into, making your hair look its best.
Is this how you talk about me, about my beard?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He does have a nice beard, and he takes care of it.
Lots of product.
Yep.
I just ordered a bunch, got shipped here. And
there you go. So
Hey,
nice.
you gotta let your hair out on stream, man.
Yeah, I guess I could. I look like Maui if I do.
Yeah.
I'll do here in a minute.
Do it.
All right, fine. I'll do it right now.
yeah. Warrior Class says, I like the Dario NX or NYXL guitar strings. I like those too, by the way, Warrior Class. I like Guitar Authority better. So, but Dario certainly does make good strings. I'm not saying they make bad strings, by the way. And I'm very familiar with Dario.
Hand this.
Oh,
man
there we go. Look at that.
He's never seen my hair down.
I have not.
He's never seen it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's long.
I'm the oldest one here, and I love it. So
And my hair is already down. See how little work that took for me? And so actually I saved a little bit of time. Guys, I'd like to say one more thing tonight here. And of course, general discussion resumes. In fact, I've been neglectful to look at Rumble, and we do have stuff to catch up on there. But you guys, Mike Moon is running for Senate. That is Senate District 29. And For those of you who are in the Missouri Freedom Initiative and you've been with us for a while, you already know Mike Moon, because we go to his office all the time. So I just want to say, if you've not read my email, you can go read it on the blog on the website, mofree.org. But I am asking for people, if it's convenient for them, to please come by to Mike's basically kickoff party on the 11th of May. That is next Saturday. And that is from 2 to 4. It's in Nixa, Missouri. If it's convenient for you, please do come to that. He is a senator we definitely want to keep, and unfortunately, he has made some enemies with doing things like SB 49, the SAFE Act, protecting kids from transgender surgeries and mutilations and chemical treatments to change gender. And unfortunately, that has led to basically him having some competition, an opponent, a Republican, supposedly Republican opponent with a lot of money. So if you guys, basically, we have to keep Mike Moon in our Senate. He is the most constitutional voter we have had in the General Assembly. If Tom Martz were here right now, he would actually let you know that. So Tom is the one who, go ahead.
Tell me, did they vet this other supposed Republican?
I don't know that yet, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt that they're subjecting themselves through that.
He's probably a Patterson type.
Yeah. Okay. Morkster is asking, is there a website to see the voting record of any particular bill so that we could see the rep senators are voting within the state? I cannot find it from the mo.gov site when I type it in a bill. No, they make it much more difficult to find the vote than that. However, help is on the way. Jody Grace does this stuff, but don't forget, the Locke and Smith Foundation and our good friend Tom Martz actually does this. They're just not done scoring the data yet. So we'll have that way before the primary. So don't worry about that. But right now, no, there's no data that's easy to get to. We've provided stuff like, for instance, if you look on Twitter, you'll find a lot of them, in Facebook. People put up votes for stuff. But I think, for there to be a website to see the voting record of any particular bill, that is not available yet. So
doesn't Ballotpedia do that? Ballotpedia?
It might.
What are you trying to figure out? I'm sorry.
The voting record of any particular bill.
Oh, you would go to Logiscan.
Logiscan.
Legiscan. Sorry, Legiscan. They have every single bill in every legislature.
What's better is if you can get the voting record of a single individual, particularly if you're vetting someone that is a candidate for re-election or bump.
Oh, Ballotpedia would be.
Ballotpedia? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, for now, go to Ballotpedia. And
Ballotpedia.org.
Yep. But what's even more important and actually more interesting is what Tom Martz does, because he judges their votes based on the constitutionality of the bill they're voting on. That's a very, very interesting thing he does. Mike Moon scores the highest every single time, without exception. I think very few exceptions. Mike Moon is the most constitutional voter I think we have in our General Assembly right now. Now, we don't know that to be a fact right now, this minute, for this past session, but we will know soon. Tom's working on it. Morkster says, okay, thank you. Legiscan and Ballotpedia. Yep, those are the two places I would go check to find out how your senator and your rep voted on lots of things. So, yep, we'll definitely have to keep up with that. And remember now, we'll do a little bit of a process ourselves here with the Missouri Freedom Initiative. We tried to do it 2 years ago, but it was very difficult. 2 years ago, if you guys remember, I was in Minnesota for most of the summer, and we're dealing with my brother-in-law's estate. During that time, we were trying to send out these questionnaires and get them back and post them on our website. while our website, it's back when we were with Wix, by the way. We're with a new server now, a new hosting company. We were under a denial of service attack. So I actually couldn't post those before the primaries happened. And believe me, we tried. And I was trying to do it remotely from Big Fork, Minnesota. And that was really rough because the internet there was very, very, very hokey, let's just say. This time I should be home, so we should be able to get some better data out of some of these folks. Okay. General discussion. Is there anything you'd like to bring up?
General discussion?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Well, there is a job posting.
Oh, that general discussion. There you go. Thanks for the reminder.
You bet.
Well, Citizens for Sound Money is officially hiring a revenue officer or a development officer for our organization. So if any of you have any fundraising experience in the nonprofit or political realm, and you have a proven track record, please go to conservativejobs.com. You can type in our organization, Citizens for Sound Money, or Patrick can find the link and post it in all the socials here, so you can actually click on it and apply yourself. And if you receive the email has our link to the job application.
I do have it.
You have it somewhere. I remember you saying it.
There we go.
There it
Yep.
is.
Okay, gang. I will post it in all the socials again. It was in the email, too, by the way. But it'll be on Twitter.
Tweet.
X, as they often call it. Let's see. Okay, it is now in YouTube, and now putting it into Rumble. And anyone who has the qualifications, hey, Go Foot World. Let's see. Getting the spinny wheel of death on YouTube. Okay. It's reporting an issue to me on my end, too.
We already have interviews this week. We have most of them on Wednesday, but we're filled up. So if you want to apply, we will actually have time to interview you Thursday or Friday. Well, hopefully Thursday or Friday. Depends on what happens in the legislature. If I'm not interviewing you, one of our board members will.
Yep. Let's see. Warrior Class 3 says, if we can only do one bill this session, which do you think is the most important, gold and silver or IP reform? I think that IP reform is critical this time. Or we lose the entire, I think he says entire state. The heart is covering it up.
I think, can I comment on that?
You bet. Go for it.
I believe in a saying that you fix the money, you fix the world. And if we can start using gold and silver and get it spread, I mean, in Missouri, it'll help all the residents. And it'll help the economy. But I also see the political side. IP reform is destroying the state, right? You got outside money coming in, funding initiatives. I mean, if what you guys are saying about the 9-month time frame for abortions, what is that? Not partial birth abortion. Yeah, partial birth abortion.
Up to 9 months.
I mean, if that's the type of radical legislation you guys are getting for your initiatives, then yeah, I would say IP reform. But I also believe that if we fix the money, we fix the world. So, I mean, I guess specifically for Missouri, I think IP reform. What do you think?
I think both are important. I think there could be an argument made for either one as to which one is more important for the state of Missouri. However, here's my fear.
Uh-oh.
Here's what keeps me up at night.
Oh, yes.
Silver and gold being used as leverage for IP reform.
Yeah.
To get something worse done or something of that nature. That's kind of what I fear. But let's see. Morkster says, I think I saw Ramoon had a bill earlier this year that essentially prohibits chemtrails in Missouri. If I'm not mistaken, I think Tennessee passed something similar. You are not mistaken. That was a Mike Moon bill. And unfortunately couldn't get any traction with it. But you're right. I think it is Tennessee that actually did pass that bill. I'm not sure it was signed by the governor, though.
It is. It was, and they tried to do that again today. But of course, the platform never passed today. They got nothing for the next 4 years.
Oh,
Not
the
one
platform didn't pass.
Nope.
They only meet once every 4 years?
Yep, that's right.
That's it?
Every presidential cycle.
Huh. Florida, we meet every quarter. The state organization. Interesting. Every state's unique.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like it was pretty destructive there then, I guess, at the GOP convention here in Missouri. Well, all right, so it is what it is, gang. So it looks like Silver and Gold is not going on the platform because there is no new platform for the state of Missouri for the GOP this year. It is what it is. So we will survive and we'll go on.
So what is your structure? So in Florida, we have Republican executive committees in every county. We don't have regional. We don't have congressional. We just have chairs from each county, and then we have a quarterly where the entire state meets every quarter, and then we make state decisions. What's the process here?
We have county Republican Central Committees.
Okay.
And they meet monthly.
Okay, the monthly, yeah.
And so they can send resolutions up to Jefferson City at any time, anything they want. But as far as doing the platform, that's once every 4 years.
Is there like so you guys only meet once? So all the county central committees meet once every 4 years?
No, they meet monthly.
No, but individually.
Well, not all of them.
But not all of them at once.
No. I don't know if there's anything more than the convention.
Huh. Interesting.
As far as them all getting together in one area.
Every state's party is different.
Yep. Sounds like it was slightly entertaining, but very disappointing. Okay. Well, it is what it is, gang. But I'll tell you what, and I'm open up for more discussion here, too. I'll check the comment section here. But I am asking if everyone could please contact your rep one more time, as I said in my email earlier today, and contact them specifically to talk to them about Silver and Gold again, let them know how excited you are about it, the reasons why we need it in the state of Missouri, but on top of that, we're asking them to go and talk to Dean Plocker to basically speed up the process, make sure we get it done before the end of the year. So every rep should be going to Plocker at this point.
Grant said he has a friend applying for the position right now.
Hey, there we go,
Awesome,
Grant. Good deal.
And he also said they have delegate meetings for electors by congressional districts. So, all right, so you guys have congressional district. Oh, yeah, we do that too. We do congressional districts every 4 years for the state the RNC convention. I was actually a delegate. I was the youngest male delegate of Florida back in 2016. Yeah. For the good old Trump.
For Trump. America. Okay. Let's see. Isaac asks a good question. Is there an update on the One Health Lab? Not that I know of right now. I'm still collecting data on that right now. But the fact is, I think some people may not know this, but there are people saying that it is not a UN WHO health lab, even though it does say that it is a One Health Lab, and it has the word WHO in it as well. And I'm still trying, and I got some good information on that from multiple people. I'm just kind of working on confirming that. But I'm thinking I'm going to send another email out probably on Monday, just to let people know how everything went in the House. But by then I will have an update from two people. There's two people in particular I'm waiting for updates on the One Health Lab issue. Okay. All right. I'm going to check Rumble now. Okay. Nothing new on Rumble.
Updates on Rumble. Odysee, I don't even think there's one person watching. Hello, the single person on Odysee.
For this one person watching us on Odysee tonight, you are awesome. Thank you very much for joining.
Oh, I think it's Goat.
Yeah, it could be Goat. I think he may have switched back. We have 70 viewers right now on Twitter, so hello to everyone on Twitter. You guys are also awesome. Okay, any other questions or comments? I'm going to go ahead as witness form.
Metaphysical revelations.
Metaphysical revelation. We'll take that too. And yeah, nothing going on in the chat in there. That's really sad.
I've never seen a chat from Twitter. I don't know what it is.
Yep. So
if you're out there, somebody just say hello to see if the chat actually works.
Yeah, if someone's watching us on... Go ahead.
I think the Twitter chat is just kind of screwy to use on the app.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's kind of weird how it works when you go to use it. Most people just watch on Twitter, or they'll comment in the wrong place, like underneath the post.
Well,
rather than
yeah. Well, I just thought of something because you said something in general, and we're talking about the convention. If anybody can confirm, I saw a Twitter post that Jay Ashcroft got booed off the stage.
You got confirmation.
Oh, you got confirmation?
Yep.
And then they started chanting Bill Eigel for governor. Is that true? That's awesome.
That is good.
Always good. Hey, trust but verify. We got it verified. We're good.
Well, I mean, some of the other side was questioning whether he was booed off the stage, but there was a video of it. I did see the video. It's around Twitter somewhere, and I would say he was booed off the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
there was I saw the video too. There was a fair amount of booing. There was a handful of people that rooted for Ashcroft, but it was pretty small.
Mining stocks. I know mining stocks.
Hey there, Mining Stocks. Hey, thank you for joining us, man. Mining Stocks is actually responding. The chat is working on Twitter.
It is. Hello, hello.
Yep. So thank you for the response on that, Mining Stocks. And am I friends with you? Oh, yep, we're following each other.
Yeah, I think Mining Stocks is following us too, maybe. I think
Okay.
I see Mining Stocks liking a lot of our tweets. For Sound Money, for Citizens Sound Money, at For Sound Money, if you want to follow us.
That's right. And, actually, Mining Stocks, I would like to give you a big shout out. Thank you for responding on Twitter, because we never knew if the chat ever worked.
Yeah.
Never before have we gotten anyone to say hello on the chat. So big shout out to Mining Stocks on Twitter. Thank you very much. Everyone follow Mining Stocks, because he comes through when you ask him to come in and actually help you figure out whether or not the chat is actually up and running.
Yeah.
So
No, and thank you for all what you do.
yeah, Mining Stocks does a lot of really cool stuff here. Let's take a look at Mining Stocks. He's the mining stock guru, by the way. Yep. He's a number cruncher. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. Wrote the book on mining stocks. Don't buy it. It's linked below.
Don't buy it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's Mining Stocks. So once again, a shout out to Mining Stocks. Okay, gang. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to cover. If you guys are calling up your reps, you might as well talk to them about SJR 74 as well. What your thoughts are on SJR 74. My thoughts are, in fact, I didn't think about that when I called Bob Titus, my rep. My thoughts are, I think the General Assembly should have the same vote threshold that we, the people, have for something that's going to go into the Constitution of Missouri. That's my thought. And once again, you guys may be okay, you watching, the crowd, you may be okay with there being a lower threshold for the General Assembly. I've heard the argument before, because they've gone through elections, and they've in a way that's kind of like a vetting process that is kind of like basically making sure someone's sane or not, I suppose. But the fact of the matter is, they work for us. And if they want to be able to pass something and put it in the Constitution and have an easier time on a vote threshold than we would have as just citizens of the state, it just doesn't sound right, from a liberty point of view. It just doesn't feel right. So that's my opinion. Let's see. Grant says Eigel going around last summer really helped him. Going to each county this summer will be paramount. I agree. And I have heard that he's got some big plans to do a lot of meeting and greeting here this summer. This actually what's left of the spring and the summer.
You liberty lovers.
Hey, it's Agorizer. Thank you for joining us, man. And let's see. And I never did finish reading Pika's comments, but Pika, I'll catch up with you sometime real soon, buddy. Okay, I think that might be it. All right, general discussion. Anyone have anything they'd like to bring up for the Missouri Freedom Initiative? What's left of the session? The 2-week roller coaster ride, emotional roller coaster ride that we're about to go through? Nothing? Okay.
How about books? I would recommend a book to people to read.
I do recommend books, but not too often. And The one that I recommend the most is literally How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yes.
If you are going to go and talk to politicians up in Jeff City, I think that's an incredibly important read.
It's a great book. I also want to recommend Pirate Money. I think the founder's strategy against the Great Reset. Actually, I'll go grab one. It's right over here and show what it looks like.
The Pirate Money book, by the way.
Kevin Freeman.
Yep, by Kevin Freeman. We did have some books that were donated to the Missouri Freedom Initiative to give out to senators, and we did give out a copy of the book Pirate Money to every senator. And it didn't matter what color, what flavor they are, they all got a book. So there we go. Pirate Money.
By Kevin Freeman.
Yep. So that's actually a really, really good book. It's strongly recommended, especially in the gold and silver arena when you do what we do. So, yep, a good recommendation. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, gang, I am looking. And Gretchen, do you have anything else for us?
No, just what was going on at the convention today. I thought that was pretty interesting. People, at least they defeated the Rhino platform. So
Yep, they did. But of course, nothing good got done though either at the same time.
True.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Thank you for that. Isaac just sent me some information here. Thank you for that, Isaac. Appreciate you, buddy.
Anything on Rumble?
Rumble. Let's see. Nope. We're still back to the job application. Okay. And on YouTube.
Heather sent a text. Yep. All right. We got the text.
Yep. Sure did. Let's see. Original Intent is with us. By the Law in Bulk from...
The Law by Frederick Bastiat. So that's something you should read every year. It's a short little... It's a book, but like a longer pamphlet, but it's great. If you haven't read The Law by Frederick Bastiat, 100%. That's a must-read.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I've read that several times. It's good.
Yeah, I like to read it at least once a year, just as a refresher.
And plus, we encourage Daniel to read.
Thanks. I read a lot.
I'm teasing, of course. All right, gang. Well, I'll tell you what. If we don't have anything else, we'll probably wrap her up. But I will tell you, I will have another email going out Monday after the hearing. So as much information as I can gather. And by the way, we're not going up for the hearing. And this is really strange for me, gang. I am up there for every hearing, testifying at every hearing ever. But right now, they just don't have enough time to take testimony. That's what I mean by that. Special dispensation. Mm-hmm. There's a special time and a special date that was set up to get this done and to get the hearing done. And so that's why, basically they're asking people to not come up and testify. They just don't have the time before they go on the floor. If people go up and testify, they will not be able to finish the hearing. That's the problem. So it's nothing personal against anyone. It's just the way that this ball bounces because we are so late in the game right now. We got 2 weeks to get this done. It is not impossible to get this done. We're just waiting for information on where we need to put specific pressure, but calling up your reps and reminding them that you like gold and silver and why, and asking them to go talk to Plocker personally will help. So, and remember to keep it friendly, gang, because any other way, it just doesn't work. Is YouTube chat broke? Not that I'm aware of, Triple T.
And Sam, you're going to have Alex Newman on the show tomorrow?
Yes. As far as I know, now I had a little bit of a discrepancy here that I'm hoping we will have worked out by tomorrow. Well, Alex is all, just gung-ho ready to go. Then I get an email from a guy who apparently sets up his bookings, saying that is there any way that you could do it during the week, say like on a Friday? And it's kind of like I'm thinking, okay, guys, when I sent it out and told you the live call-in talk show. Now, Alex, on the other hand, he's ready to go. So basically, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to call the phone numbers that he gave me to use, and that puts me in the driver's seat. So that'll work out good. So I'm hoping that Alex would just go ahead and come on anyway. But there seems to be a discrepancy between this Andrew Muller is his name, guy who apparently, I don't know exactly what role he plays, but he must help Alex with some of his scheduling and stuff, and then Alex himself. But yeah, I thanks goes out to a gentleman that we air on our station by the name of Tim Brown with Sons of Liberty Media for booking this one. It was a big one, and Alex has a book out called Indoctrinating Our Children to Death, and it's about what's going on in the public schools. And we couldn't have gotten this interview at a better time, just having come out of a school bond issue here locally ourselves, and with all this stuff going on over the issue of public schools. Basically, the premise in a short nutshell of what Alex is saying is that you need to treat these schools like they're on fire and yank your children out now.
Yep.
Yep. And Sam, when you talk to Alex, tell him that Daniel Diaz says hello. We both graduated from the Leadership Institute, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we're both field reps for the Leadership Institute as well at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I will tell him, because I'm going to call him about 10 minutes before the broadcast so we can get a chance to chat, and I'll mention it to him.
Perfect.
So, yeah, he's quite a speaker. He's very, very much up on all this stuff as far as what's going on with the schools, and he covers. I mean, man, he's got his irons in a lot of fires between the John Birch Society and I've lost track of how many people he publishes for, and then on top of that, he has his own website, libertysentinel.org.
Yeah, he's really come into the limelight the last year or so, because I'm seeing him everywhere. He's speaking everywhere, so it's good to see that he's moving up in the conservative movement the way that he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on with him. He's getting a lot of recognition, and I was just very blessed because I've admired his work for a long, long time. And so to have him on the show tomorrow is just going to be wonderful. He's going to be on in the first hour.
Excellent. All right.
All right. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to promote your show in my email. So maybe to make it up to you, maybe I got to stream that live through one of my platforms so that you get a wider audience. Is that okay, Sam?
That's fine. Yeah, you go right. Hey, any of those shows you want to stream live, just send them through.
Gotcha. I think that one would be good to put on Twitter. I think that would get some real good play on Twitter. So we'll see if we can get that done for you tomorrow night. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Really
cool. Well done.
Yeah. In the first hour, he'll be on, and the second 2 hours is up for grabs. So anything that anybody wants to contribute, including yourselves or just whatever, you're welcome to come in and do whatever.
Sure. All right.
All right. Cool beans. Okay. Any other business we could think of? I'd like to say hello to Shane. I just saw you, Shane. I didn't know you were here. Silently in the background, listening in, making plans to free Wisconsin from the shackles of tyranny. But they got rid of sales tax on gold and silver in Wisconsin, so they're flying high this year. They did a good job getting that done. And Gretchen did say something great. Gretchen said that. Let's see. Pomade is a greasy, waxy, water-based substance that's used to style hair. It generally gives the user's hair a shiny, slick appearance. It lasts longer than most hair care products and often requires multiple washes for complete removal. Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense because it's like Lincoln Huff's hair is always the same. It never changes. So
I use Moroccan oil.
Moroccan oil? Gotcha. Okay.
I cut mine off, so I don't use anything. I just chop it off and let it grow out for about 2 months and then whack it off again.
Yep. Okay. That is an easy way to do it.
It is efficient.
Yep. And Sam's Hillbilly Barbershop always opens. It has one customer. It's me. And it opens right here at home, and it closes about 20 minutes from the time it opens.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nice.
Efficient again. Very well done, Sam.
Yes.
Okay, gang. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I will ask one more time to please contact your reps.
Yes.
Even though you've done this before, I know that all of you have. One more time would be very helpful, just to remind them that 735 is coming their way, and to ask them to go talk to Plocker. That's specifically what we're asking for. So I appreciate it. My thanks in advance. I will get an email out on Monday after the hearing and update everyone on how everything's going on the internal side. And if there's additional work that needs to be done on our side, we'll find that out at that time as well. So thank you again for watching. And I want to thank everyone for joining on Gilded. It looks like Gretchen's gone already, but we've had Sam with us on Gilded, Voodoo Queen. Of course, we have Liberty Revolutionary, Shane.
And you got to invite me to join Gilded.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I sent you an invitation.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that right now.
It's by email.
By email.
Yeah, so, yeah, eventually Daniel will have to go back to where he comes from, which is the land of Florida. When that happens, he may want to join our live streams from time to time. And that'd be the easiest way for us.
Great.
Yep. And then having Sam on in Gilded is a treat, and that way don't forget to mention him when I mention all the folks in Gilded, because I can just easily look up at the avatars and I know who it is.
By the way, let me know if the camera is working. I don't know. There's no way to know if it's working or not. It's just a laptop camera.
Yep, it is not. It's just got a little bear avatar, which is standard, if people don't change it. That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's standard one you get from Gilded is what I mean by that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Probably break it if it came on anyway, but
no. Well, if it's an HP laptop, then maybe, but any other manufacturer, you'd probably be okay. So I'm making fun of Hewlett Packard, by the way. Again.
To say I have a face made for radio, I always keep telling people that all the time. So the cameras just go every time I appear, Yeah,
I've been told many times I have a camera face. So you and I are in the same exact,
you in a radio face?
A radio face, yeah.
Not a camera face.
No, radio face.
Radio face.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I get told.
Now, see, if we could use that same technique to break all these surveillance cameras that go in everywhere that don't need to be everywhere, that would be great, where you could just stare at them and all of a sudden they just...
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd be useful.
I mean, they have a way of dealing with those in the UK. It's just they call them Blade Runners.
Yeah.
It's
they also started.
Give them the finger.
They also start putting bat boxes on them because, see, they have strict environmental rules over there when it comes to bats. Homes for bats.
Mm-hmm.
So a clever way they've done it now to slow down the engineers messing with them is put bat boxes on them, because under their environmental laws, you can't disturb a bat habitat.
Doesn't mean you can't cut wires.
No, that's right.
Okay,
That's
gang. Go ahead.
It's been the commonplace over there, though, is that the Blade Runners, they're just a bunch of guys with ski masks going around and just chopping down the poles and
yeah,
and bashing out the lenses and covering them up with spray paint so the surveillance state can't get anything.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with cameras going in all over the place is really frightening, actually, because it's kind of the same way they rolled them out in England or in China. And, just a few here and there, and everywhere. Before long, nests of cameras were showing up in England and in China. And that's the way they roll, man. That's the way they roll. They want to know everything about you. So, so that's another thing, too, is, we all have these smartphones, but, if the camera gets activated, basically you have a little light on there to let you know the camera's on. I wonder if the camera can operate without the light.
I think they run through the same circuit.
Okay.
At least on the Samsung. The other thing, too, is there's a lovely little thing with Android that Apple doesn't do. You can go into turn on your developer options. I think you hit the build number and tap it either 5 or 7 times. And then it opens up developer options. You can add your quick tiles, more of those to the front of your screen there. And you can put sensors off. It cuts off all sensors, microphones, everything.
Yep.
You can also download Graphene OS onto your phone and no longer use iOS or Android operating systems.
There's always that.
Yeah.
It cuts off everything: GPS, sensors, pretty much everything.
Love it.
Okay.
There's also some.
Hang on.
Over the phone.
Update. Glad everyone's still here. Even though I was wrapping it up, if you guys can stay another second here. Just got a text from Ron Calzone, and apparently the House has already fixed SJR 74. It's already fixed. It does not have the double standard any longer. It's fixed. So that's ready to rock and roll. And, of course, since it has been changed from the Senate, it would have to go back to the Senate once they pass it in the House or go to conference.
But now it doesn't have to.
Yep.
Now it will have to because it
okay.
didn't leave the Senate in that condition. I guarantee you that. The House did it.
Yeah, well, I think in the process, it has to go to conference now because it originated in the Senate.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay. So there we go, gang. So if you're calling up your senator, ask them to pass HJR 74. It's ready. It's ready for prime time. So the double standard that I was worried about that is no longer there. It's been fixed. So it's ready to go. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us on whatever platform you were on. Thank you very much for those of you putting in comments. Special shout out and a thank you again to Mining.
Mining Life?
No, is it Mining Life?
Mining Life CEO?
No.
Or For Sound Money?
No, the guy who is commenting.
Oh, Mining Stocks.
Mining Stocks, that's right. Another shout out to Mining Stocks on Twitter. You get a special shout out, sir. Thank you for letting us know the chat was working.
Yes, thank you.
And please do participate in the system, gang, and not at the federal level. Do it on the state level where things really matter. Like, for instance, getting gold and silver done, it'll never get done on the federal level. It's no interest in doing that. The Federal Reserve would rather have a nuclear war than give up their product, the dollar. And that's my personal opinion. Hey, it's Grant. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, your beard grew out a little more.
That's what the miracles of beard oil does.
Yes.
Nice. There you go.
Wow. You guys have like beard aficionado magazines and stuff like that going on.
They
and
do, yeah.
You guys have secret handshakes when guys with beards meet each other.
We shake with our beards.
You shake with your beards. That's what it is. Okay. Gotcha.
Still waiting for the day where a hair fish just comes out of my beard for me.
Go pow. Yep. Okay. Well, thank you very much once again for joining us. You guys have a very, very good weekend. God bless you all for being here and for participating. You guys take care. Watch for an email.